All right, what we are going to talk about in this video is the ear. So what we're going to start with is the external ear, and then we'll work our way towards the inner ear. So what we're seeing here kind of from this kind of lateral view, like we see on the side of somebody's head, would be the fancy word auricle, which is just what we generally call our ear. Our auricle consists of two parts. The top here, the top part of our ear, we call that the helix, and then the ear lobe, as we a lot of times call it, what people have pierced, is the lobule. Now, extending inside of the temporal bone is the external auditory meatus, same thing as what you might call the external acoustic meatus, and we could also call it the canal. Okay, so external auditory acoustic canal basically is just your ear canal. That is part of the external ear that then leads to our eardrum. Okay, this structure here is our eardrum, which we scientifically call our tympanic membrane, what number 3 is pointing to. Now, our eardrum or tympanic membrane is going to be connected to 3 bones that transmit sound waves towards our inner ear. What we have are the malleus, incus, and stapes. Okay. Now, the malleus is what number 8 here is illustrating, and it is the one that actually is attached to the outside, or I mean the inside of our eardrum. Okay. Then from number 8, the sound waves will strike the incus, which is number 9, which is this one right here. Okay. From the incus, sound waves then travel in to the stapes, which is what this, number 11 is here. Okay. So we can kind of see it all kind of put together, something along those lines where they're connected from the tympanic membrane all the way towards the parts of our inner ear. Okay. Now, if I show you the various parts of the inner ear, major thing that you can see right away is this coiled structure. We call that the cochlea. Cochlea looks kind of like a snail shell. And then you have the 3 different semicircular canals. Okay. They have different names for which way they point, but for what I want you to know, you can just know them as the semicircular canals. And then number 12 here, kind of between the cochlea and the semicircular canal, is the vestibule. Vestibule is very important for equilibrium. Okay. Extending out the back of the vestibule and the cochlea is this structure here called the vestibulocochlear nerve, which is one of our cranial nerves. It has a vestibular branch and a cochlear branch. Cochlear branch goes to the cochlea. The vestibular branch obviously goes to the vestibule. Okay. Now, if I kind of flip the part of this model kind of upside down here, that's going to help illustrate the 2 openings that kind of open up into the cochlea. What we have with number 14 is the opening called the round window, and then 13 the opening called the oval window, and those are important, like I said, because they open to different parts of the cochlea. Okay. Now, this space in here between the inner ear and the tympanic membrane, which is what number 5 is illustrating, is called the tympanic cavity, or what a lot of times we call our middle ear, and that's where we talked about those important auditory ossicles. Now, opening up to that middle ear is this canal, number 7, which is the eustachian tube, or a lot of times what we call the auditory tube. It connects to our nasopharynx and helps to maintain pressure in our middle ear, and it explains why if you plug your nose and blow, your ears might pop. Okay. On kind of both sides of that eustachian tube will find some very small muscles. Number 6 is a tensor tympani muscle, and then 21 is a tensor veli palatini muscle, which aren't super important. We talk a little bit about the tensor tympani muscle in this class, but we don't talk a whole lot about it, so it's not a super important structure to kind of worry about. So yeah, that's the structures of the ear. Thank you.